Hello, everyone. Sarah Barker with Connect Our Elders Empowering Aging podcast. Today, I have with me as my guest Trenton Mooney with Vibe Realty, and he's going to be discussing why the 55 plus community should consider senior real estate specialist. Trenton, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and talk about this subject of the seniors and the senior community and why it is important to pick a real estate agent that does have a seniors real estate specialist designation. It kind of sets you apart and it separates you from the other real estate because you have people that are in, commercial real estate, farmland, but I'm just specialized in the senior market and to help them navigate through their life transitions and any obstacles that they face.
So Trent, what is your background and how did you decide that you were going to be a senior real estate specialist?
So I've always had an interest in real estate, but it was a big deal to me to experience financial freedom. So I've led myself from flipping houses to building houses to building my own house and to experience financial freedom. And I'd like for others to experience that also. But 10 years ago, I married my wife, Taylor, and she is an occupational therapist. So she's always working with the senior community and the nursing homes and assisted living facilities and also in their homes. So, and she's always coming back to me and telling me this story of her experiences of how to have better options for seniors in their homes, because she has also gotten her home modification certificate to help elders with aging in place, universal design to make homes more accessible for the seniors. And, to live at home, they don't have to sell their home. It just when they're talking to a real estate agent. And for me, I want to give them options.
Absolutely. So you decided through interaction with your wife and hearing her stories about seniors that you wanted to then start focusing specifically on seniors in real estate. So what are the benefits to a senior working with someone like you, who is a senior real estate specialist versus another agent who's not?
So I'm looking for, if we're walking into a home to purchase or buy a home, if it's going to be accessible to them, are they going to be able to age in place in this home? Are the doorways wide enough? Are their countertops the right height? Just any kind of obstacle that they might come into when it's buying a home, or even for me, the current client may not even want to move out. They may just want to stay in their home. So I have resources in a community I've surrounded myself with home health care, hospice care, and we're always coming together weekly and talking about different experiences that we have. And us talking about our experiences helps solve the problems a lot faster than it would for somebody that doesn't experience these problems.
Right. So in addition to looking for, if the doors are wider and it's accessible for them throughout the course of their life, do you find that there's a certain different level of emotion that goes into working with seniors?
Yes, they are. They're very stressed out sometimes, and they need somebody to listen to them, to listen to what they're saying. And I can't express enough how, you got to just come at it with an open heart, more or less, to feel what they're feeling and understand the situation that they're in, because most of the time these people are alone and living alone because they don't know another way.
So what is the process? Are you working with seniors who are looking to right size? Maybe they are in a huge home and they just don't need that space anymore. It's, difficult to keep up. And so will you help them find a right size space for their transition?
Yes, and I find them right size space, or going to an assisted living facility. I hate to put it that. I'm not trying to put it that way, but some assisted living facilities or nursing homes or something like that are some of them are set apart, and there's also communities for the 55 and older community to help them to socialize with people their own age. So
now, are you helping them through the process if the goal is to sell the home, right, and move into a community? Are you guys walking step by step with them and identifying what assisted living community would be the right fit for them?
Yes, yeah, we have several here in my local area to choose from, and so we've been in there.
Where are you guys operating?
In Granbury, Texas, just southwest of Fort Worth.
Okay. So when should somebody consider to reach out to you and Taylor?
Sooner than later, and not later, because it can turn into a mess. Because then the urgency, they're just trying to rush through it, and nothing ever pans out when you rush through the process. There needs to be a plan in place, more or less.
Okay. What's the process? Because with somebody that's been in their home, typically when we're talking about seniors, it's a long time that they've been in their home. So having to decide what to keep, what to sell, what to donate, are you guys working with them through that process?
Yes, like we have estate salespeople that are professionals in that area, and they're dealing with these people constantly on a day-to-day basis, so they know how to talk to people. Is this really sentimental, or is this just something that's just you're collecting, more or less, that that it's going to be a burden on your family, because and at the same time, these people have collected all this stuff their whole life, and it's better just to start with the process. There's a process that takes place for them to get rid of. So
you're saying there should be a plan in place, so be proactive about reaching out to somebody like you, right? But what do you typically find that people are reaching out as soon as they should, or are you finding in most cases it's a last minute, okay, mom needs to go to an assisted living community, we've got to sell the house, and it's really pressed?
Yes, I have experienced that recently, because it's just the life that we live. You could be starting to decline in your memory and everything like that. Then where's the power of attorneys, that type stuff in place, and who's going to take care of it? Who's going to help you take care of the process? And at times there's people in their 80s and they still don't have a plan. And I have dealt with clients that have lost a spouse, and they're like, well, it should be pretty easy, but it was in the spouse's name that passed away 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you finding that you're getting most of the opportunities? Is it coming from a certain type of professional, or is it from you guys being really involved in the community?
Just being involved in the community and staying in front of seniors. So they're in the area we live in. There's different communities that are 55 and older, or the senior center, senior care facilities. And not saying we're trying to pick up business there, but at the senior center, we're just there. We serve with them once a week, and we're consistent and committed to that community.
Developing the relationship, right? So there's a trust and a comfort when the time comes to work with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are there any key indicators, right, that maybe there could be an attorney or a financial advisor listening, a social worker, maybe at a skilled nursing facility. What are some indicators that they should connect you with their client or their patient?
They're just changing their function and their functionality. If they're changing just the way they're moving around, that they're on the decline, to the ability of the way they're moving around their house and their daily living.
Right. Or if their house, maybe if they're discharging, right, from the skilled nursing facility and it's not going to be safe for them to go home. So you need to start figuring out what to do with the home if staying in place, right, with caregivers isn't possible. You know, I have seen situations oftentimes where it is necessary to sell the home to free up funds to be able to pay.
Yes. And so I've tried to educate myself on that side too, is like the finances with other options. So you got a reverse mortgage, and reverse mortgage sounds bad to some people, but some, if your house is paid for and you get a reverse mortgage on it, you can help you live there, keep the funds coming in, and to help pay for a caregiver or home modifications.
Right. I mean, it's a resource that needs to be explored. It's not the right fit for every situation, but it's always a resource that should be explored as an option.
Yeah, if it's not, you also got the home equity line of credit you can use. So you always got to just keep your options open and be experienced. And
what do you think is the biggest barrier? Is it that you're a senior real estate specialist, but I guess your competition, you could say, is it that Susie knows her neighbor and her neighbor has a friend that's a real estate agent? Is that usually what's the
okay? And that often happens, and I've tried to educate myself in that demographics, and this is not something I can just give you one answer and it's going to fix your fit. Yeah, I would like for people to come to me for help, but at the same time, you're specializing in your field, and now you're stepping into a senior field, and there's not experience. It's not something you're going to gain experience just having a 5-minute conversation with me.
Right. And you haven't experienced the situations that you guys see, and you're surrounding yourself with the resources to be able to kind of wrap your rounds around the senior and to see what else they need in addition to selling the home. What other sorts of resources to make sure that they're safe and happy.
Yeah, you got like elder law attorneys, home health care. You got private care and hospice care, and I've learned that hospice does not just mean that you're passing,
right?
But hospice cares and helps with the pain management if you're in pain in your home, and you got estate planners and financial planners too that also specialize in that area.
So it sounds like your guys' intake process, or the way that you're working with the senior, right, to identify everything that could help them is different than your typical real estate agent that's not specialized, right?
Yes, ma'am.
In senior real estate. So Trenton, if somebody has a loved one in Granbury, Texas, or they have a neighbor, a friend, how would they reach out to you to start a discussion?
They could just call me on my phone, or look me up at viberealty.com. And also, they can connect with me on Facebook or any other social media platforms. But we also have Elder Care Connection Group. And they could join that to where they don't have to be in constant communication with me, but they're connected to that group to learn the different experiences that people have, and even learning from the other elder care people that are in our group. So,
and that was called Elder Care Connections, and it's on Facebook?
Yeah, it's Elder Care Connections of Hood County.
Okay.
So we're in Hood County, even though we're in Granbury. Granbury pretty much takes up all of Hood County.
Okay, so Granbury, Texas, Hood County, and it's say what the group name is again so people can find it.
Elder Connections of Hood County.
Okay, Elder Connections of Hood County, and they can connect with you on Facebook. And then if they wanted to call you, what is the number that they should call?
254-216-3884.
Well, thank you so much. So for everybody listening, or if you watch this recording in Hood County, so Granbury, Texas, if you want to make sure that you proactively establish a relationship with a senior real estate specialist, so that way when the time comes with your loved one, or if you have patients or clients, right? Trenton and I encourage you that when it's a senior, make sure that you're working with a real estate agent that is specialized, right? So your senior real estate specialist. Trenton, thank you so much for being my guest today. I really appreciate you being on Empowering Aging.
Thank you for letting me be a part of your program.